Hi, this is James Eng of Old Capital, and I'm here with Perry Zheng of Cashflow Portal. Perry, thanks for jumping on, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, James. I really appreciate being here. Thanks for the
Yes,
opportunity.
yeah. So maybe to kick it off, give people a little bit of your background, and then we'll get into a little bit more of what Cashflow Portal does for general partners out there.
Sounds good. So my name is Perry Zheng. I am a syndicator in Seattle. I'm also the founder and CEO of Cashflow Portal. My background is I have been a software engineer at Amazon and Twitter before I became an engineer manager at Lyft. I am also a syndicator, having syndicated about 800 plus units and passively invested in more than 2,000 doors. And I work with James on a few of those deals as well.
All right, so let's get into, so maybe before we get into specifically like a demo on this deal, but maybe tell me sort of the genesis, like, there's a lot of things that you could be doing, right? So why did you decide, all right, hey, what I'm going to do is start sort of a software company and go into sort of why you started Cashflow Portal?
Absolutely. So I started the company in April of 2020. That's right after the pandemic. At the time, the existing software out there were too expensive, prohibitively expensive. At the time, I only had one deal at 172 unit, and I will have to pay about $1,000 per month for that one deal. I thought that given my background, I could do better. I could do it more intuitive. I can also do it more affordable. So I started building the engineering team to build the software. Fast forward a year and 5 months later, we are growing tremendously at 80 to 100% week over week. And our customers are just adding, a few a day. So it's very exciting.
So with any type of software, my first question is, how much does it cost? And then what does it do? So let's jump in. If you can try to share your screen, we'll jump into let's just look at the software, and maybe you can talk me through, if I'm a general partner, let's say I'm raising money for a deal, how the software works, and then we can get into sort of how much it costs at the end of it.
Sure, sounds good. So Cashflow Portal is a real estate syndication software that helps GPs raise equity, streamline operations, and connect with their investors. I will show you both from a GP perspective as well as the LP perspective.
Okay, yeah, let's start maybe from the GP perspective. Like, okay, I'm raising money for, let's say I'm raising, I don't know, $5 million for a deal, and sort of how do I sort of get into your portal, and then sort of what does it do for me?
Right. One of the things about Cashflow Portal is it's very product driven. Whereas you can go on the website and create an account for free right away, and you can create a deal within 5 minutes. We also have this button that's really easy to switch between investing and syndicating, just like Airbnb. And now I'm gonna go into one deal. Click on the offering to create an offering. To create an offering, you simply put down your offering size, the minimum investment, put down any key metrics, a summary, assets, including the images you can upload, offering documents. This could be your OM, or your biographies, as well as the e-sign templates. We made it super easy to upload e-sign templates and to copy the fields that you need from different profile types across all profile types. And then you can also add your funding information. At the end, you can preview your offering, and it looks like this, very clean. You have images. You can scroll through the images. You have the overview. In this case, I put 1,000 just for demo purposes. Cash flow, you have the projected cash flow for the next 5 years, some key metrics, offering information, asset details, and documents. And if the passive investor is interested in investing, all they need to do is click on Invest Now. And so the GPs will just need to send this offering link to their investors. Now, some of the small differentiators that we have is LP can just take the link and they click on Invest Now, they can sign up, they can invest right away within 5 minutes. Whereas other syndicators, other softwares may have to verify that this is the person that I need to know. And so the time to subscription is much, much faster on this portal.
All right, so let's jump over to, all right, I'm an LP, I get the link. Now, how does this look for me? Because, sometimes if you work in, I've invested with a lot of different general partners, you might just receive an email with a Dropbox to some paperwork, or, it might have a webinar. So maybe switch over to the investing side and go through that.
Yeah, so the LP will get a link like this, and all they click is invest now. And then they will go into the investment funnel, right? The first step is to create a profile. They can create an individual profile, IRA, married couple profile, or a LLC. In this case, let's go ahead and create a individual profile, and go ahead and click Add Profile. They will select the sponsors they know. Another differentiator is on this portal, you have one link that you can pick which syndicators you know, instead of every syndicator has their own link. I believe that this is easier and more streamlined, okay? And then I will select Perry Zheng as the sponsor that I know. Go ahead and click on next. I'll put in how much I want to invest. If I invest less than the minimum, it will yell at me and say, are you sure? Do you have approval from your sponsors to less than the minimum amount? In this case, let me actually invest $100,000. Click next. The document is all embedded in the portal. So they click on sign now. This is staging, so that's why. And they can sign it here. And they can put in any full name. So for example, I'll put in Perry Zheng. This is a sample PDF. Once they're ready, they click on next, agreed. And the document is signed.
All right. And then, so I guess once people start going through the process, there goes the, what would you say? Because a lot of times, the beginning part is really just getting the general partners and limited partners to get everyone to sign all the paperwork. But is there anything, have you done anything sort of post, okay, now, we need to make distributions, or we need to, email out to all the investors? Do you guys have anything that sort of helps the general partner do that?
Yes, absolutely. So let me give you an example, because I made so many demos. This one is showing that I made a $214,000 investment. So this is what the investor portal looks like from a passive investor perspective. You also get this nice cash flow history of how much you invested and how much you got distributed, and all the activities that are associated with it. Now, so you are asking, what is the post-acquisition workflow look like? Let me switch back to syndicating. And this is really, really nice. I don't think any software does this really nice switching between the two. Click into the deal. So now I'm a syndicator. I am the administrator of this deal, right? I can look at all my investors. I just saw that, yes, I just invest 100K, and that one of the two people have signed. I can actually countersign it. Okay, so actually, let me do one thing. This is really cool. From a syndicator perspective, all I need to do is countersign it. Okay, so this is the sponsor. So I am countersigning it. Go ahead and countersign. Agreed. On the staging cluster, it takes a while to finalizing the documents. Once I countersign it, the status automatically moves towards signed. And then you can also send a wire instruction automatically through the platform.
Once they've put in all their documents, and then you review it, make sure it's the person that you know, and sign it, and then you're good to go from there.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. So you can see this is switched to countersign, which is awesome. And then if you click on this button, send wire instructions, that will automatically send a wire instruction to them. And then this button also switch to wire instruction sent. Your question is afterwards, what do I do? I can send emails to all of the people on this deal, okay? So I can send an email really easily, select the group of all the investors of my deals. I can enter a subject. The other thing I can do is going into any deal, I can run a distribution. So I will just click on add distribution, enter the total amount that I need to enter, distribute, start date, end date, and the payment amount, and then give a memo. So for example, let's say I will enter, I will distribute $400,000, 400,000. Okay, and this is for July 1st, June 1st, all the way to say September 30th. And then I'm gonna make the payment on October 6th, 2021. And so I'll call this one Q3, Q2 distribution, doesn't matter. This is for a demo. Next. This will automatically calculate everyone's ownership distribution amount based on their ownership. You can also export that as Excel or export that as an ACH, and then go ahead and save. Now, this is only for reporting purposes. One thing that we are still working on compared to our competitors is the ability to send ACH automatically. That feature is coming up in about a month. So,
but this will allow you to at least run it based off of, you have all the information in one. So instead of like tracking down the PDFs and trying to figure out how much each person's ownership is, you sort of have it all in one place. And then the investor, and I don't know, I didn't prep you for any of these questions, but like a lot of times, you know, the LP, let's say the LP invest in your deal, and then, you know, they want to go be a GP on a deal going forward, and they say, hey, Perry, you know, what's my ownership in the deal, and what's the debt, and what's the current metrics on the deal? Do you guys have anything for that?
That's amazing. Yes, we do have that. If they switch to investing,
right,
you can see that these are all the investments that I invested in. And if you click into any one of those investments, you can see there is the ownership percentage right here.
Okay, good. So ownership, and then property value, all that type of stuff, acquisition price. Okay, there you go.
In fact, one of the differentiating factors about our software is we are passionate and obsessed with limited partners. And so what that means is you have a single account that will access all the deals that are on Cashflow Portal. You do not go to every syndicator's website to get your SREO, Schedule of Real Estate Owned. In the future, there will be a button that says, export my Schedule of Real Estate Owned. And that is the one page that you will give it to your lender, like without going to every single syndicator's portal. Right. Now, obviously, if you have your deals as a LP that's in other people's portal, there's nothing we can do. But if they are on Cashflow Portal, that is one access, one sign in. Does that make sense?
No, that's perfect. The LP then has to call the GP and tell them to call Perry Zheng then.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Perry, no, this has been great. What's the best way for general partners or limited partners to reach out to you to learn more about Cashflow Portal?
Yeah, so you can go to cashflowportal.com, check out our about page. We are a fully loaded team with A+ engineers and a team of 10+ people. We are growing rapidly, which is awesome. And as of today, I am full-time on it. So I've been bootstrapping it over the last year and a half. We are raising equity for the startup. We are making this a real hyper growth business. You can reach out to me at perry@cashflowportal.com. Again, it's perry@cashflowportal.com. Just to know, the pricing is very, very affordable. $99 per month if your raise is less than $5 million. So you can get started with just one deal. And it is free to sign up. Like, we don't ask you to get on a call with a salesperson to show you the product. Just go ahead and sign up and play with the software till you get value out of it. And if you have questions, just reach out. There are a lot of customers actually in the last few months that just sign up, create a deal without even talking to me. And they love that fact that they are able to just get started without talking to anyone. That's how MailChimp works. That's how HubSpot works. You don't really need to talk to anyone in order to get started.
Well, that is perfect. I appreciate you jumping on and giving us a little demo here. And we'll have people reach out, go straight to the portal and check it out. So thanks a lot, Perry.
Thank you, James.